Hello and welcome to another video. In this video I wanted to actually test my Sony ZV-E1 with the APS-C lens, and a funny thought occurred because when you put your APS-C lens on a ZV-E1, it doesn't have a APS-C mode in video, but if you do switch on the dynamic active stability, it actually crops into your lens perfect amount that you don't have to sort of crop any further, or there's no vignette. So I just wondered, what if I have a lens which is a Sigma 18 to 50 2.8, and I do have a Sony 24GM which is 1.4 aperture. So what if I turn my Sigma 18 to 50 on a 24mm f2.8 and get this frame wherever I think the limitation is, and I use my Sony with the same aperture? Would there be any difference between the pictures, or would it be the same? And the reason I'm doing it is because it'll give me an idea about if, just for video's sake, I can use the Sigma Trio or even the full lens right now. There used to be Sigma 16, 30 and 56 f1.4, but now they've added Sigma 23 1.4. But I'm more keen on Sony's 15 1.4 lens, and if the f1.4 or the blurriness or the bokeh of whatever is behind us is retained and the quality is retained, then maybe it's a good idea for having at least a couple of APS-C lenses in your kit, especially for ZV-E1 and especially for videos like this one. Because the reason I'm intrigued to try those APS-C lenses is more to do with because they are cheap, they are very light, and that's one of the reasons I picked up the camera to begin with, because ZV-E1 or A7C2 and they are very light cameras comparatively to any other manufacturers, and especially even Sony. Like the Sony A7 III, A7 IV would be a bit more heavier, but if you can buy a Sony ZV-E1, buy a lens like Sony 15mm, which is like light enough and it's way cheaper than getting a full frame lens, would you be able to get a decent picture out of it? So let me quickly swap my lens and also have the same settings on my camera, and let's see what sort of picture we can get. I didn't want to move my chair because I didn't want to sort of change anything apart from maybe this frame. So this is the frame, and it's more to do with you can test wherever that light or that window is. That will be more of a test rather than just checking what we are doing. But I'll try to switch lens. I'm not even sure that I should be doing it while the camera is on or not. But yeah, either way, let's do it. And we'll continue the video from then onwards. Well, this is the video quality that you would get from a Sony GM24 set to f2.8, and it's the same sort of setting. I'm sitting on the same chair, maybe I've moved a bit forward or backward, and this is what you can expect from a Sony 24 f2.8 setting from a Sony 24 f1.4 lens. Let me know if you can figure out a difference between this picture as well as from the other picture. And let me confirm if there were not anything funny happening. Well, it turns out this lens does have a diffusion filter on it, but nonetheless the framing should be similar. And I think that's what we were testing mainly, that if we have a 24mm on a APS-C versus a 24mm on a native lens or a full frame lens, would there be any difference in the bokeh that we get as well as the overall picture quality? So let me quickly put this footage onto my PC and see what sort of difference we can spot. And if it is to do with the diffusion filter that you think the picture quality is different, then I'll conduct a different test in different time or even in different lighting conditions. Well, until then, take care and I'll see you in the next one. And you too.